Hello there. So, no notes can be found regarding meetings between the Scottish First Minister and the lawyers over the Alex Salmond case, admits the SNP deputy leader. Firstly, please subscribe and like this video to give my channel a boost. And I'm always uploading new content, so please do check back every day. And a big thanks to my Patreon and PayPal supporters. The inquiry into the SNP government looking into the unlawful and biased investigation of Alex Salmond asked for some documentation on meetings between Nicola Sturgeon and the lawyers acting for the Scottish government in the Salmond judicial review. But the Deputy First Minister John Swinney says none can be found, with the Daily Record reporting records of meetings between Nicola Sturgeon, Permanent Secretary Leslie Evans and the Scottish Government's legal counsel about the investigation into Alex Salmond cannot be found, John Swinney has confirmed. The Deputy First Minister has told the Holyrood inquiry into the government's unlawful investigation of Salmond that he is unable to provide details that the committee had asked for. They cannot be found, but more to the point, do they exist? Has Nicola Sturgeon been asked that direct question in Holyrood? Has anyone quizzed Leslie Evans, who is the Permanent Secretary to the Scottish Government? So those at the top of the Scottish Government are having meetings with lawyers to decide how to take a high-profile case forward while spending hundreds of thousands of pounds of public money, and the government has zero note or minutes on it. What if there's confusion between the lawyers and government about what was agreed? It seems that, based on Sturgeon's recent performances, the lawyers could get away today with saying to the First Minister that her memory seems to have failed her again. Anyway, back in January 2018, some months before this was going on, the Campaign for Freedom of Information in Scotland published a report on how recording discussions and decisions at meetings needs to be improved to ensure the public's right to know remains robust under the Freedom of Information Scotland Act 2002. And in the report, the CFOIS said they put in a Freedom of Information request into the Scottish Government about how meetings, minutes and agendas were run. And their conclusion was, from the information received, we have concluded that on a day-to-day basis the process can be interpreted as both lacking precision and too complex due to the spread of guidance on who is responsible for what and when. This vagueness and complexity creates loopholes, which without a committed culture of openness can be exploited. And it went on to give some examples of unrecorded, unnoted and unminuted meetings between government and high-level organisations. And these meetings between the Sturgeon government and lawyers took place within a year of that report coming out. Now, on the meetings that Nicola Sturgeon, Leslie Evans and external legal advisers had on the 2nd and 13th of November 2018, the Daily Record says, MSPs have asked the government to release the official records of the meetings, but Swinney has insisted the government have not identified any record of meetings having been prepared or previously held. So it sounds like they never existed, which falls into line with the shortcomings identified above by the Campaign for Freedom of Information in Scotland. But the CFOIS has also said in its 2018 report that under the Freedom of Information Scotland Act 2002, there is no duty to make a record. If a record of a meeting is not taken, then there is no information to access. It used to be business as usual to routinely produce agendas and take minutes of meetings. Why have we moved away from this practice? And I'm hoping this doesn't give Nicola and her team a get-out-of-jail-free card. Overall, it doesn't sound that much has changed between the Scotland Freedom of Information Act 2002 and 16 years later in 2018 when Sturgeon and her team met the lawyers. And how long of that had the SNP been in control? So what do you think about this lack of records? Please share and comment below. And if you want to hear more from me, please don't forget to subscribe and also press that little bell or you won't get any notifications. And if you want to see more of me, buy a mug with my mug on it by following the link in the descriptions box below and support me on Patreon or PayPal. And thank you for watching.